Yeah, I mean, we're really excited to do this little session. It's the first time that we're sort of doing it, and we just wanted to try something a little bit different. Usually, this is my sort of feedback session, where I'm just, giving feedback to people. But we thought, you know what? Well, let's mix it up a little bit and invite some members on to talk about their work. So yeah, we're super excited to have you on, Leandro, and talk about your characters. I think what was really appealing to us was just sort of the uniqueness, the presentation that you showed in your characters, and I think it would be great for our members to just hear about how you came about with your characters and stuff like that. So maybe just to kick it off, you can you can introduce yourself. Just maybe just recap on whereabouts you're living, what school you're studying at, where you're at in your journey, and then we can pick it up and have a look at some of your work, and you can give us a bit of a breakdown of some of your stuff. All right, over to you, Leandro.
Yeah, thanks. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. And well, so yeah, I'm Leandro Leijnen. I'm currently in Os. I'm a student at Creative Seeds. So I'm now in my fourth year, and next will be my last year actually. So first I did 2 years in another school named Asa. So there I just discovered everything because before that I didn't really know 3D. I mean, I did some things in high school, but not really much. So I did 2 years there. But they were going towards video games. I didn't really like that much. So I wanted to specialize in character creations. So that's why I went to Creative Seeds. And that's where I am now. It's been 2 years now. And that's going really great. And well, next year will be my last. And after that, I don't know. I will see. I'll be thrown into the professional world and I'll see where I will get. I mean, the dream will always be in a big studio like maybe Disney and DreamWorks, but it sure is a long road, and so I don't know. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I think I'm going to share my screen if I can. Like I have.
Yeah, look like
Uh,
the screen, share screen icon down the bottom.
yeah. I don't know
So
if you
so
can.
I haven't heard of Creative Seeds before. Is that so? How big's that school? Is that focuses on visual effects and games, or is that a big university? What's that?
It's one school. So currently there's just one school at Ops, and it's not it's just a school with all the 3D specialties. So you have animation, you have rigging, character, environments, all of that kind of stuff. And well, it's kind of a recent school. I think it has like 6 or 7 years. I think, and I'm not sure, but yeah, that's why I think it's still gaining popularity because it's still new.
And you specialized in which in modeling or texture, or what area did you focus on, or game art,
I'm specialized at character creation.
character
So
creation?
a lot of things we see modeling, texturing, loop development,
Oh, that's
uh,
cool.
yeah, all of kind of stuff.
Yeah, cool.
And so I don't know if you see my screen. It works.
Uh, let's go watch. Yep, see it coming up. Okay. Yep, we can
Yep.
see it now.
It's all good.
Okay. Yeah, I just break just like some of my work. I just at Brazil I did like general stuff. Like I was still discovering, so I did basic, not plenty of things, like not just characters, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do at the time. Then quickly I began to really like making characters. So my second year, I made some other stuff. I made like a big project like the Samurai. I tried to become like a millionaire with NFT, but I didn't do it. I didn't really
Very cool.
Then I jumped. Well, then I knew that I want really to start writing characters, so that's why I went to Creative Seed. So at Creative Seeds, that was really a good step for me because I really went into the character specialization, and so I just made tiny characters the whole year. A lot of Pokemon, a lot of features, not many humans because at the time I wasn't really confident with making a lot of humans. And well, this year I've been making some new projects and especially new humans and characters. Like for example, this one or the two last ones.
Yeah.
These And so yeah, like now I'm really getting to be part of these last two characters. Well, they really gave me a lot of new opportunities, and so yeah, maybe I will if I'll talk about some character creation, I talk about one of these.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are
Fantastic.
one that I find that are really interesting.
I mean, your progression in skills over those years is just amazing, Leandro. Like just seeing, that's been 3 years and you still got one more year to go at school. Like it's really impressive.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I sort of noticed as well, just going through it was like almost year, and it was like, yeah, it's amazing just to see that progression. And just go back to the start,
Yeah.
when you look at some of that early stuff, I mean, yeah, like that from there, and then you move. I mean, even that, there's some of the character stuff there wasn't big. You can see like you're exploring all the different, you're exploring environments, you're exploring characters, and then you move to the next level, and your skeleton dude's pretty solid. You've got some, cool stuff going on. So no, well done, man. It looks awesome.
Thanks. Well, just every day if you keep creating, I think that's a natural line. I think.
No, but
So yeah, I don't. Maybe I can jump on.
yeah, Jordan's one of those two. I mean, though, definitely the girl with the sunglasses, has been getting a lot of coverage. She's she's done amazing on social media platforms, and maybe there's a lot of people on that haven't seen your rookie's profile or project page or entry page yet. So maybe you can pull that up and then just go through your breakdown of that character and your creative process for it.
Yeah, sure. Well, maybe I can get uh maybe on workspace I can get that, but I prepared like a detailed, well, more detailed in depth for the one with the sunglasses, but I can quickly share.
Oh, if you've prepared something, Leandro, just go with that. I mean, everyone else can come and have a dig around through this at some point.
A detailed, but just I prepared some stuff just to.
Yeah. I mean, just in terms of entries as well, just the way you've done the layout and the presentation, really broken down your entry page. I mean, it's I think we should be doing a little bit of a case study on it because it really is such a nice page to review.
Yeah, thanks. I tried to make it like not too long, but I think it's not really long, but I tried, and yeah, I tried to make it nicely so that everyone can understand. So like basically always for my character, like I like to show if I make some drawings with drawings and some of the steps, the ZBrush process, I will show. I have some ZBrush files that I can open for the project. And well, the process is basically always the same. Like first I do the modeling, then I do like the props and all the clothes and with the white topology, and then I jump into the texturing parts. I can see here, and then at the end, well, I make the hair and all the other stuff like the animation with the blend shape and all the expressions, for example. Because well, the expressions that really makes the character alive. Because generally for if you want to do a movie with a character, like you make the characters in T-pose and just to look at and with a blank face, but that isn't really isn't really always ready to look at on the ArtStation pose. So it's always cool to have some animation. It brings really your characters to life. So that's why I made it. And yeah, some close up. So well, basically these two characters actually I made them at the same time roughly, because I made this character at school, and then at the same time I made this character at home. So I kind of finished them and started them at the same time, and so maybe I can dive into this character, how I created that her. So actually at the beginning it's actually a collaboration with someone, with a friend. So his name is Benjamin Afris. So I think about this. Yeah. So he's really into our surface modeling. He's doing great. And so we wanted to do a project where he did the vehicle and I did the character. And so we went into some inspiration. Uh, don't mind the dog, but we wanted to do some stuff. And so we chose to make a biker. So a woman with a motorcycle. So first, we really liked this concept, and then and then actually for the final design, well, we mixed kind of photos with some AI and the original concept. So I like to. So this is the concept, and then I threw sometimes some pieces of it into AI and mix it with photos, and then see what can be kept, what can be not kept. So for example, this is then enhanced with AI, and I like the yellow top, so I kind of kept that with kind of shoulder strap on it. But then again, it wasn't really enough biker style, so that's why we made some more leather parts. So maybe I have here. Yeah, so this is my POF, so it's kind of a mess, but just to drive all the pieces together. So then we jumped on some leather stuff just to make it more like biker style. And so yeah, once that was done, we first of all decided how big the project was, because well, at the beginning we thought like, okay, we would spend like 2 months on it because that's cool. One character roughly takes always 2 to 3 months to make it. So I thought, yeah, we could do the same. But well, so this project time, I mean, Panjama kept it, but I didn't really respect it because I was going to respect it, but at the end, I had like a problem and I couldn't really continue the project anymore because, well, I had kind of an accident. And so now the project, it was still in work in progress a month, and now it still isn't really 100% finished. But I hope that next week I hope I'll be able to work again and to jump on it, because we really were on the end, and we just have to make some final renders together because we already made the motorcycle, and I just have to make some final touches. So the motor, I can always already show you. The motor is this one. It's really cool. And so the two combined together will really be cool, I think. So that's really why we made the two elements.
Yeah, love that design. It's awesome.
And yeah, he really did a great job. And so now I can show my process. So at the beginning, I began well in ZBrush. Well, some people like to start in Maya. I like to start in ZBrush always. Maybe I can launch. And, so wait, I'm just launching ZBrush. So yeah, I have some files open so we can see the process. Just bear with me because my computer is not always the best. Yeah, I'll just put it on the right window. So yeah, I'll always start in ZBrush with some basic shapes like this one. So these shapes are clearly not the good one for this character. But as I was saying, I was making the two characters, like the other one with the F1 haircut and this one at the same time. So sometimes I took some elements from the other character to go a little bit faster. So actually I took the main shape from that character in this file, so I can quickly have a decent model to start with. So these are just basic shapes. So at the beginning it isn't really necessary to be detailed. So this way, when you keep it, well, you can quickly change things and proportion, and it's really easier. Um, and then, well, step by step, I just detail the head. So for a long time, I always separate the pieces, each pieces. So this stays for a long time, like separated. So that way, again, you can just with the move push, you can like just change some things without really affecting all the other things. Because if you jump too fast into details with ZBrush, like you can really easily just subdivide your things, but then things can get really clumsy if you don't really pay attention, and then the surface isn't really even and smooth anymore. So it's good to just start with some basic shapes and always in low subdivisions. So then, as you start to go on, I just add some meshes. So these are always separated, but I added some things like the nose and eyelashes and mouth parts. And well, the body is still just blocking because, well, as I knew that the body was to be covered with clothes, well, the body itself didn't really, well, it wasn't really as important as the head. And that's why I put most of my efforts actually in the head. Yeah. So yeah, again, more and more refined. So actually, at the beginning, I I kind of went into a stylized version with a sculpt because I like the idea to have a semi-realistic character where the sculpt was kind of cartoon and the surfacing, well, the look development was more realistic. So I like that idea. And so yeah, here I have the body that's really fine. As you can see, it's getting closer to final result. But while still, I just kept all the pieces separate, and at the end, I will merge them together. Like here, these are still separate, but if you merge them together, you just have to smooth a little bit here, and then it's okay. So, oh no, I see. Then, so yeah, then I jumped on with some poly paints just to have a quick idea. So maybe with the skin shader, it will be better. So yeah, the poly painted just to have a quick idea, just to be sure if the character is to be headed in the right direction. It's always cool, and also make some quick props just for the clothes, just to be sure that the character will look right. So this jeans, for example, it's just a simple mesh, but it has like jeans textures on it. Like it's all faked, but it just helps to imagine what the character will look like. So that always helps. And yeah, once I reach this part, this step, I like to go into Maya because now I already have merged all the parts. And well, before going to further details, I like to go into Maya, do the clean topology, and then send it back to ZBrush. So that's why normally on the latest version, it's not on the same place anymore in ZBrush. Because, well, actually, when you start into ZBrush, your mesh will always be super small when you export it and you send it to Maya. So that's why at a decent step, you need to send it to Maya, set it on the right place on the grid, in the middle of the grid, and on the right side, and then send it back to ZBrush. Because if at the end you don't have the same size in ZBrush and Maya, then when you're exporting and importing, it's always messed up and it can be complicated very easily. So yeah, so at the end, I just I don't have any poly paint anymore. I just the rough sculpting. So I have some Maya files. So like when I open, well, thank you, but this one. So yeah, so I always use a lot of tools. I don't really use Blender. I always go into Maya because, well, it's a habit. I learned that in my 2 different schools Maya, so I always use that. But I think the tools are quite the same. Like here I have the high sculpt coming from ZBrush, and then when you make it with a live selection, I can like draw the polygons onto it, and then I can quickly with the quad roll tool actually refine the topology as I want. So I'll always do just 1/2, and then I just mirror it. But again, with the topology, I kind of cheated a little bit. Just to be sure you still hearing me, I guess. Not that I'm speaking all alone.
No,
we're with you, mate.
Okay, that's great. So again, for the topology, I was kind of cheating a little bit, because at the same time, I had done like for 2 or 3 days. I spent 2 or 3 days at school on the topology of the other character. I thought, yeah, this is a female character too, and well, the topology could just be actually the same. So I didn't want to do it twice, and so I went into hobbyist hub. So I don't really know if there are any other tools that can do it. Maybe on Blender, I don't really know. I know that I implemented it now in ZBrush directly. It's cool. But so basically what it does, it's really quite simple and fast. So just you have your base mesh with the good topology. So this is a base mesh that came from my other character. And well, this is the sculpt from ZBrush with a really high topology. And then basically what you just do is you click here, you just say which point is which point on the other mesh. For example, here, this refers to this, and this refers to this. So for example, if I place 1 point here, I place it on the other one. So the software know that, okay, I need to place a topology there. And then when I click on wrapping, so you can define all things like you want. Maybe you can get a better result at this one. But it does quite a good job, and it's really fast. And at the end, well, I just keep the topology that it has here, and then I just clean it actually in Maya, because with the wrapping, it's like really easy and really good on most of the parts. But like the complicated parts on the face, it doesn't really work that well, like on the eyelids or on the ear or the mouth, for example. But that's not really bad. That's not really an issue. Like I just erase that in Maya and then do it again. But it saves a ton of time, especially for the whole body, because I can keep a lot of it. So yeah, that can be cool. So then once I made the body, I made the clothes. The clothes actually, I modeled them directly into Maya, because well, in ZBrush it's cool to sculpt, but for clothes, when it's thin parts, it's always a bit complicated in ZBrush. And so in Maya, I have this. So yeah, this was a work in progress for the pants. And well, actually, just like with the model, with the sculpt in ZBrush, like this is the low poly version. I mean, with no details and all. This is just, for example, the pants, just a regular model. And then to build the other elements onto it, I always start from this one. Maybe select some polygons, extract them, copy them, and then make another part with it. So that way, now you can see that, for example, the paint shape stays the same, but I always take some. I always, for example, this part is just the other half, but just copied and then extracted. So those kind of things. And once I made all of that, at the end, it gives something like this. Just zoomed in. But yeah, always with modeling, I always model clothes in Maya, and then I sculpt all the wrinkles and the folds on it in ZBrush directly. because well, when it comes to sculpting, it's always best to go into ZBrush. So this is the final model. I did I had a quick wig, but well, I'm no wigger, so it must look awful, but it's just to put the basic pose with the motorcycle, so it's enough. So yeah, this is like the final model. I molded all the different pieces, and like the clothes, all the folds are added with a displacement with ZBrush. So actually, once I created all the clothes, I did all the UVs. I send them back into ZBrush, and then I sculpt the folds. So I think I have. So here you see all the subdivision levels. So this is the highest with all the details, and I always do that with all the clothes, because well, you could also simulate it in Houdini, but it takes a lot of time, and I prefer to just sculpt in ZBrush because it's a good practice sculpt, like especially the fault, because it's quite complicated. Well, you need a lot of references, but I really like it to make it in ZBrush, like a little name a little quick time lapse about it. But so yeah, I just always when I sculpt, if it's on the body or on the clothes, always start on the low subdivision level, just to have like nice shapes and not really go into the details. And then slowly you just crank up the subdivision levels, and then you go more and more into the details. So now I like I really do define the small folds, and well at the end it gives something like this in ZBrush.
Yeah, it looks great. Looks great, Leandro. Are you, when you're doing the folds and stuff, are you really looking closely at photographic reference, or are you sort of taking a bit of just an artistic approach to it? What's how are you doing that?
But I do both. Like I the main flow the I mean sorry I mean for some parts I really just copy some fold that I see on photos, because well, inventing folds, it's kind of really difficult if you haven't done it a lot. But well, you can't really have visuals for every side of the pants, because if you do, for example, okay, you copy this side and then you take another side like this, but the fold that you made in front doesn't correspond with the fold here. So you always need to adapt a little bit on your own in ZBrush. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do, for example, did this, but well, the same flow, the same vibe, I copied it onto the other sides of the pants. But it just once you start to understand how the folds behave, you can kind of copy them on the other sides and all. But yeah, it's always good to have very good references.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, you don't just invent.
And do you have a favorite brush you like to use when you're doing this, or do you keep it pretty simple at this stage?
Yeah, it's actually just the simple,
I like
simple standard,
Yep.
standard brush. Because well, especially for just for the folds, because well, you have all kinds of fancy brushes, but it's just always for the folds it's like round, and so the standard brush is always the best, and just standard, and maybe that standard, like if you invert it, it creates kind of an edge, just move it a little bit. But just those two brushes like really are enough for me for the folds. And for the body, I always like to use the clay buildup, like this one, and a lot of standard. Like the most brushes I use, I write here. So standard clay buildup, then standard, and also the Geo brush. That's a brush that comes from Pablo Munoz Gomez, I think. And yeah, it's really great. But I really stick to like 4 or 5 brushes, not more, because well, you can quickly get lost with all of these things. Yeah.
No, I think that's a great bit of advice there because, yeah, it's pretty overwhelming when you see all the brushes in ZBrush. And, to be honest, most of them are just there for a bit of fun. But yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And I think it's just time consuming. If you think, okay, for this step, I need to use that brush, for this step, that brush. I mean, if you just have 3 brushes and you can do almost everything with those 3 brushes, then it's cool, I think. So once I did that, I finished everything. And then, so yeah, here, if you can see here, for example, this came from the wiki page I made. Here you can see there's the model coming from Laia. This is then sent into ZBrush, subdivided, and then all the folds onto it. So yeah, maybe it could have been more accurately when it's simulated. But again, I just really like to practice on this code.
But you'll obviously be tweaking this once you get it into a pose, right, on the bike. So obviously it's, you're trying to get realism, but you'll be tweaking that later, won't you?
Yeah, it can be like if the character, we don't really have definite poses. I mean, final poses with the motorcycle, but it's true that if she has to have like a pose where the clothes really needs those wrinkles and those folds, maybe I can sculpt her again just for that pose. There can be something that can be done, but I really try to have some regular folds so that it works with a lot of poses actually. So here you can see all the props I made. So I really tried to make the props as detailed as possible, so that you can have a lot of zooms on it. Like here are some.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Thanks. Yeah, I tried to.
Yeah, that's awesome, though.
Yeah, I think that really blew everyone's mind on social media, just trying to figure out how you did the tattoos and that skin detail, because it just hits right.
Thanks. Well, I textured it. I textured it in Substance Painter, so it might lag a little bit because my computer isn't really the best, but I can try to open. So now.
I think what I loved about your, if you go back to some of those renders that you already got, Leonardo, with the leather, when you look at it, it wasn't, it's the imperfections that you've added to it to make it look really realistic. It's stylized.
Which
the close-ups of the leather, like even the bag and the boots and stuff like that. Yeah, these ones that we're looking at. Yeah, like that. Yeah, just in the boots. It's just worn enough. I mean, yeah, the laces maybe a little bit more worn, but it could have been a bit more worn. But yeah, the boots. It's not an even surface. You've kind of broken up the silhouette. Like it just you've just nailed the sort of, I guess, the wear and tear of it.
Like, yeah, it needs to be appealing with. I mean, visually, I always try to, even if maybe on the realistic element you don't have always all those details, but sometimes in 3D and especially with semi-realistic design, you can just emphasize some bump effects or some roughness values, so it looks a bit nicer.
And stitching detail, was that using the path tool and Substance, the stitching detail?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah,
I was using the new stitches, and it really
awesome.
Really helped. Like here we can see, for example, just with the displacement and the bump. So the displacement combined from ZBrush with the height values with Substance Painter, and then combined actually.
Wicked.
So the skin might look a bit harsh, but actually it's really not, because with SSS it's like
it softens it right up.
There's a lot of details.
That's right.
Right.
And did you paint the poor details on there, or were you using on the skin, on the face? Looks like you've used a brush to paint the poor details. Is that right?
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of hesitated how to do it, because you see all kind of techniques you see
Yeah.
otherwise on ZBrush or on Substance Beta.
Yes, I did.
But
Yeah.
I tried to do it once on ZBrush, but it's like complicated because afterwards, if you want to tweak something, it's really complicated because once you smooth something, well, it's all messed up and it's complicated to do tweaks afterwards. But in Substance Beta, I made some custom brushes for that.
Mhm.
So that's how with that it became really easy. Like for the general body, I had like uh, a map, a skin tone map that I would just style across the body, and then all
Yep.
the important parts like the head, I would just paint them myself. So for example, I made some just with actually I had some brushes I bought on Outstation for ZBrush, but those brushes can also be served in certain painter. That's what I did because most of the time they come with their alphas, and so the
Yep.
alphas I just put them into some Substance Beta brushes. You just have to tweak some things, and then you're good to go. So, for example, I have some skin pores.
Oh, nice. Yeah, awesome.
And so that in Substance Beta, what's cool is that, well, you can mask it, you can erase it, you can always tweak the intensity of it.
Yep.
So that's why it's cool to be in Substance Beta. So I had also some, all kinds of wobbly surface thing.
Yeah, awesome.
So yeah, this was really handy. And so yeah, just to find things. And I think I can open maybe a file, but I broke down my character into 3 files actually. One for the body, one for the clothes, and one for the small props like the boots and all. Just because, well, first of all, it reduces tremendously the size of the Substance Beta files, but also, well, because my computer can't really handle that much into just one scene. So I just did it like that because it was easier. So here, well, just needs to load a little bit.
Well,
But yeah, this is what I got in Substance Beta. But well, the face isn't the final version of what I have now on the renders because after that I did some refinements. But well, in Substance Beta, once I started the texturing, it's complicated to change the model. But the UVs stay the same. They all look the same. So I just kept with this model because I didn't show that. But at the beginning, my model was like uh, really stylized.
yeah.
But when I saw because Benjamin, the one who made the motorcycle, he finished the motorcycle a bit before I did all the textures. And so I saw, okay, yeah, it's quite realistic. And my character isn't really enough. And because I first, when I went into Subject Beta, I had like this window. Well, I knew that it was going to be improved, but I began to realize that, well, I was going on the wrong path with this character. And so I wanted to make it more realistic. And so I threw it into also into some AI just to see. And it was
Cool.
like now. So I saw that and I say, okay, yeah, my character could definitely be improved, more realistic, I mean. And so I try to stick a lot with some of these features. And that's what I try to do here. So first of all, I try to define more the eyes more. I refine the nose, the mouth. I mean, all kind of little things. And slowly I began to
Yeah.
the version. I mean, yeah, this step was really a big step. I really changed a lot on the model.
Facial. Yeah.
So that a little bit,
The proportions are just, really nice. The eyes obviously are just such a, great feature, but yeah, just the balance of the whole face. It's just, quite amazing. And it's quite a step from where you were, like it's, I think it was the right decision. I feel like you're lucky that the motorcycle was so photorealistic that it actually pushed you in this direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I hope. I mean, I have maybe. It. Yeah, we have one winter. I mean, the pose isn't final. The pose is definitely not final. Maybe the lighting also need to be tweaked. But like this is an early version of what we had like a month ago.
Awesome.
But like, we made a huge break. So now I'm going to do it again next week. I hope. So yeah, that is what exciting.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, good. And maybe we can make some cinematic shots. Maybe I don't know. Maybe with an environment.
Actually, I like
maybe with a.
The yellow you've got on the motorcycle matching her outfit. It's just nice and little subtle touch. It's great.
Yeah. Better. Yeah, no, I hope it will. I hope it will end.
I'm sure it'll look great.
Sure. And so yeah, once I made this in Substance Painter, I mean, this my process in Substance Painter is like it's in Substance Painter. I'm a bit messy. I mean, I have a lot of layers, but the base is like real skin with values, yellow values and red values. So this is the mask for the blue, for example. This is for the yellow, and that's for the red. Like you always have more blue on the top, more red on the bottom, and on the middle a bit of yellow. So I made that, and then on top of it, I made all sorts of layer to just to add more things on it. But like the base is really these 3 layers actually, and then I add also all kinds of things.
And so did you do your sort of the final subsurface and all that? Was that in your renderer? Like, did you use Arnold, or what was the final render?
Yeah, we used the Arnold render. Yeah, in Maya.
Yeah.
Because we both knew Maya well. He didn't really knew Arnold, but we knew other render engines, and well, it was quickly to adapt. So yeah.
Nice.
Yes. What can I show next? So after that, I made the hair in Houdini. So the most of the work is always the guides, placing the guides. That's like the longest time, the longest amount of work for the house, for me actually, because after you have done that, you just have to throw some hair generators so that it multiplies the hairs based on those guides, and then you put some modifiers like some clumping and some curls on it. But yeah, the most of the work is really on the guides. And
it's also use Houdini much before, Leandro? Before you did this, did you have much experience doing the hair?
Well, a little bit, because like I was at the same time I was doing the other character, like with the F4 haircut. So I already made that haircut, so I kind of got into it. But yeah, the year before I made another haircut, but I mean I wasn't still really confident in Houdini. I mean I discovered a lot just with this project, especially for the hair, for the simulation of the hair. It was really complicated. It took a lot of time just to make the expressions animated with the hair that moved. It was really complicated, but I finally had some cool outputs. Like still, it was a month ago, so now I want to change things. Like some expressions are not really that. I mean, some things can be improved. Like the smile at the end, it can definitely be improved. But this is what I got. So yeah, like the guides are also there for the simulation. Like I didn't do the simulation on on all the hairs. I just did simulation on the guides only, and that alone took already a long time of computation.
Yeah.
And once the guides were simulated and they moved, well, they drove then the actual hairs.
No, it's a fantastic result. As I said, like just hair in itself, obviously, it's just such a a big thing to actually do well. So yeah, I was just curious. Yeah,
It was a nightmare to animations,
yeah.
but it's worth it. It's cool to see some expression that.
Yeah, just even the simulation. I mean, look, it works well. Obviously, sometimes you can actually over simulate these things by, trying to get everything to move. So, I think you've balanced it out. Yeah, really well.
Yeah, and because she's currently being wigged by someone at school. It's not finished yet, but well, for the moment, I just have a wig I made with Mixamo, and I skinned some parts myself, but it's really horrible. But she is going to be wigged, and I hope she'll have some animations. But that's why I made these expressions myself. I just made them with blend shapes coming from ZBrush.
Are your classmates fighting to?
I don't know. What? Sorry?
I was going to say, are your classmates fighting to animate her once it's ready? Is someone in line to have a play?
No, I don't know. No, I don't. Not really, because well, I don't know really when the wig will be finished. Because I still need to make some adjustments for the wig. Because well, they see other stuff that that when we model characters we don't really see. So I still need to refine those things, and maybe it will finish for this summer, and then next year there will be some animation on that. I don't know, but I hope so. And so yeah, just because I wanted to have some animation, but I couldn't wig, I couldn't really animate, so I just sculpted some blend shapes in ZBrush, and then so these are all separate scenes, and then I exported each face into Maya, and then I made blend shapes from them. So once you have blend shapes, you can just animate from one blend shape to another. So I have them right here. So yeah, I have my different blend shapes. So it's really just from 0 to 1, and then with nice animation, with nice curves, you can have kind of animation like I did. And I also just, that's why I did a small wig just to animate a bit the head, because if there are just the emotions and the head doesn't really moves or rotates, it's not really natural. So just to have some subtle movements from the head, that helped a lot.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it shows you don't need to have anything, extremely complex, even just for that head movement, but just the subtle part helps, doesn't it?
No, it's really really. I try to be simple because again, I know nothing at all about rigging. So this is just at my level what I could do to animate my character. But yeah, but I mean, it's not really complicated. I think in Leandro you could do the same. It just, once you have your model, you just sculpt the different expressions that you want, and then you make blend shapes from them, and you can do these kind of things. Yeah. And I don't know what I should. I think I've shown actually think everything in Sculptor. So now, yeah, like I said, it's been a month. So now I want to change some things, maybe improve some things. But I mean, I set a deadline 2 months, and I don't want to do this character forever. So maybe I'll just refine some things, and then we do the final renders with Benjamin, and we post it and all. Because I also want to continue on some other personal stuff. So yeah, because I definitely want to change some things, but yeah, I don't want to do this forever.
No, I think
I'm already quite satisfied with this version.
Yeah, I think you could push it even too far. I mean, she's looking amazing. You've obviously learned so much by doing this, and I think once you start getting that pose down on the motorcycle, putting it into a cool little environment, it's just going to look, amazing. So yeah, I think I'm sure you've got loads of other characters you want to start working on. I mean, if you're sort of even thinking forward, you've got another year of study, and what are your next characters that you're even thinking about?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about a lot of characters. I don't really know. I do character per character, but anyways, like next year I will definitely make a lot, because next year will be when we make our end of a movie, like a short movie at the end of our master. So I will definitely make like 1 or 2 characters for the movie. It will be awesome. And then that's for school, and then for my personal projects, I don't know. I'll see what I'll make it.
Scary to think what your portfolio is going to look like by the end of next year. Should be awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Maybe some more Pokemons. I don't know.
Awesome. Awesome. If anyone has any questions, then feel free to drop them in the chat. We're just about to wrap this all up. So yeah, or open up the mic. Feel free to open up your mic and ask Leandro directly. Thank you so much for your time, Leandro. Like, it's been amazing looking at the breakdown and the skills that you have, mate. Like, it's I think you've got a bright future ahead of you, and really looking forward to seeing some of your character and creature maybe creations for the rest of the year and next year.
Thanks. It was my pleasure. It's awesome to be.
Yes. If anyone has any questions, jump right now. Yeah. Where can people reach you? You're on obviously you're on Rookies there, but have you got LinkedIn profile that you want to share or anything like that?
Yeah. I have LinkedIn. I have ArtStation, Instagram. Like, I post all my best projects and final projects on ArtStation and the Rookies and LinkedIn.
Yep.
And I don't post everything on it. So it's some people want to see really everything, even a small project. I post everything on Instagram. So there's that too. So yeah, people can choose. But I have all the things.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I got to bounce. Andrew, I'll let you close off. But thank you so much, Leandro. And we look forward to seeing your progress.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, look, I think we can probably even wrap it here. I mean, there was a question just that was dropped in the chat, which was wanting to know a bit more about the process of how you used Houdini and you actually rendered it with Arnold, how you were sort of moving between the two. Is there anything else you can maybe share that, or dramas you had that you kind of overcame?
Yeah, there was actually one, because when I'm in Houdini, I export the house in an Alembic format. So Alembic format is really standard format. It takes a lot of different files, but like the Alembic for just the haircut was like 100 or 200 MO. So just for one haircut, okay, it's fine. But when it's animated, it's like that, but per frame. So it really skyrockets super fast for the hair animation. And like Maya just couldn't handle that. So when I wanted to import the Alembic into Maya, just Maya crashed always, even on the good computer at school. So it wasn't really a problem of performance. It really was Maya that didn't really like Alembics coming from Houdini with all those millions of curves. Because, well, that's really what it is. I mean, our curves are really just plenty of curves. But what I found is when you import them, you don't need to import via here in Alembic, import Alembic, but you need to take the GPU cache and then import, and then you take your Alembic file. So that's kind of weird, because even if you don't render with the GPU, I render with the CPU, but even then you import it, and then it shows in the render time. So actually now I have my hair, but they are hidden. So when you import the GPU, they are hidden, and they are just here. Actually, here you can see them, kind of bold icon, and then they just appear at another time. And again, well, like in Houdini, it's always a bit complicated to transfer some stuff. Like in Houdini, I had an attribute, a color attribute, like the one you see right here, a random color attribute that I created. And then that attribute, I could take it back into Maya and, well, throw a one on it. So a gradient. Because, well, that attribute goes, for example, from 0 to 1. That's a color from black to white. And then with that, I could put the gradient into it and give the color I want for the house. And the hair is just, well, an Arnold hair surface, I guess. And yeah, that's how I imported it. And that it finally works.
Yeah, no, that's cool. No, that's great. Yeah, hair. I mean, that was hair and rigging was always something that I steered away from. So yeah, good on you for actually getting in there and getting some great results with the hair on there, because it's not an easy thing, and especially when it takes so much computer and GPU power. It's just like, oh god, it can be so painful to wait and get a good result. So yeah, you've done well.
Yeah, that's why. So yeah, I can't really render right now.
Yeah, that's all good.
A lot of time.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of time.
No, that's amazing. Well, look, if we don't have any more questions, I'm sure we can wrap this up. But yeah, really do appreciate you jumping on late, and it was a really cool presentation, and great to actually see a little bit more of how you made this amazing character and just your sort of progression, through your learning. So super impressive, and really keen to see what else comes through. I know we at the Rookies, and I follow you on Instagram just to make sure we get the latest and greatest. So keep going, and look forward to seeing more.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. It was really cool. And like for everyone, I mean, if there are any questions later on, I mean, on Instagram or on Station or LinkedIn, I always try to answer on the comments. So just go there if you have any questions. But yeah, I'll be had a great time. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, everyone, we'll call it there. And hope you enjoyed that. And just shout out to Leandro and thank him, because it really was cool.
Thank you.